What's up, guys? It's your boy Ruben, and just coming to you to go ahead and give you guys an update. Draft was last week. Knicks fans, we had a great draft. So remember in my last video, I discussed that my wish list was Obi Toppin, which he fell to 8, and I was really worried that they were going to have to try to trade up for him. They let the draft come to him, and they got basically college basketball's best player last year. My other part of the wish list was Cole Anthony. He didn't quite make it to 23 because, we did trade up to 23, but he went a few picks before. So we ended up with Emmanuel Quickly. Actually, we didn't even end up with Emmanuel Quickly. They swung another deal to basically get him because I think they went from 23 to 25, flipping a player to Minnesota. If I understand that correctly, I believe it was Minnesota. And anyway, they ended up with Emmanuel Quickly, pretty good shooter, player for Kentucky. So we got pretty much what I wanted, right? We got the best player in the draft, in my opinion, and we got a guard slash shooter. Now he isn't exactly what I would consider your quintessential point guard that you need, ball distributor, floor general type, but we did need shooting. So since then, free agency's opened. I'll give you guys a couple quick thoughts. The Knicks went ahead and they traded for Ed Davis, right? They took a couple of second round picks, I believe, if not one. I think they took 2 second round picks, I believe, to acquire Ed Davis, and then they flipped him for another second round pick when they traded him away. So for Ed Davis, they basically turned him into 3 second round picks. So definitely savvy moving, something we're not exactly used to considering what we've been used to. It's been a bad several years, if not like, well, it feels like 20 years now. It's probably has been like 20 years, but it's been a bad, rough patch of watching what the Knicks have done. Now, I always thought the Knicks were pretty good at actually drafting talent. That's just me personally, considering that they've found like players like Landry Fields late in drafts, Jeremy Lin, players like that, right? But we can't seem to keep those players and put a solid team together, which has always been the problem. I felt last year we had a really good nucleus of young talent, especially after drafting RJ Barrett. And I really was looking forward to them developing that talent. What ended up happening was they signed several veteran, particularly forwards. I know it's been a big punchline because people like to rag on the Knicks, but I thought they were fine deals because those were good players. We flipped Marcus Morris into another first round pick, which helped facilitate us getting Emmanuel Quickly. And if he turns into a player, it's a great deal. We ended up getting Julius Randle, which he still could be a player that could be on the move. Because I'm not really sure how him and Obi Toppin work together. I do know that they could kind of play a little bit of an inside-outside game because Obi Toppin does have a pretty good floor game as far as shooting, the basketball away from the basket, while Julius Randle's more of a bull in the china shop type when getting down low, right? So I do think they can play off each other, but it's not exactly the ideal fit considering the perimeter-oriented game that the NBA has become. So I'm pretty excited at the way we're forming this team. We have kept a lot of the young talent. None of those players have been traded away. As of right now, we still have Dennis Smith Jr., Kevin Knox, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, um, and Frank Ntilikina. I think this is a good, solid team if you develop it correctly. Um, I really do. I know I'm probably one of the few. I have high hopes for Dennis Smith Jr. Hopefully, he has fixed his shot. We have heard that he was working on it last year and that he's also working on it this year. But in the meantime, they did re-sign Elfrid Payton, which I'm fine with the Elfrid Payton signing. I don't know why people are so down on it. He is more of the floor general type. Not I'm not saying he's Chris Paul, so let's not jump out the window or anything like that. But he is the kind of point guard you want to kind of get the ball moving. So we do have several guards now to duke it out. Um, So with that being said, I don't know where Dennis Smith Jr. fits right now, especially if you also think about it. We signed Austin Rivers. I like the Austin Rivers signing. It looks like we put a premium on getting guard play and getting shooting and just in general putting the ball in the basket. These are very important things that we've needed for quite some time. And I think instead of just signing veteran talent, we've signed people that complement what we already have going on. I'm very much a proponent of the draft and develop portion of the New York Knicks. I'm very invested in. I think, and I call me an eternal optimist, but I think this could be the year they break into the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to be the greatest team, but I think that the A seed is something that is attainable this year. If things bounce right a certain way. Um, I hopefully they get knocked some more minutes and we can start seeing some of the returns on that we've been hoping for quite some time. So with that being said, I just want to give a few other thoughts with what else is going on in the league. The LA Clippers have lost Montrezl Harrell over to the Los Angeles Lakers. There's been a lot of Laker hype considering that they signed Montrezl Harrell, who was the sixth man of the year, and Dennis Schroeder, who was a runner-up in the sixth man of the year award. So when the Montrezl Harrell trade went down, right, I was having a discussion with a colleague, and I said, I don't really get it. And a lot of people are like, oh man, the Lakers have gotten better, blah, 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 blah. So this is why I don't really get it, right? The Lakers lost Dwight Howard to the 76ers. In response to that, they took on Montrezl Harrell. And I don't think it's an upgrade. I know we're all in love with it's perimeter oriented game, blah, 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 blah. So they've devalued, your prototypical centers that are bang down low types, right? But I think what people forget is the advantage the Lakers had was they constantly had 7-footers on the floor to go with AD and LeBron. They were bigger than everybody. Their starting point guard is 6'9" in LeBron, right? Anthony Davis is 6'10". JaVale McGee is 7 feet. Dwight Howard is somewhere between 6'10" and 6'11". So, and that's just coming off the bench to spell JaVale McGee. And not only were they large, but they're athletic. So they were very good in rim protection. Dwight Howard was very, very key in helping keep Jokic in check during the playoff series with the Lakers. And you basically lost Dwight Howard and acquired a 6'7" center, right? That can't rim protect and can't shoot. I don't see that as an upgrade. And to be honest with you, I don't see how it even works in terms of, just him on the floor with LeBron. I suppose you can make the argument that, well, maybe they'll play AD more at the 5, but AD doesn't want to play the 5, right? So if they're going to force AD to do it, then okay, I'm with you. I like the Dennis Schroeder pickup. I don't know if he's going to provide the kind of value to them that Rondo did. Dennis Schroeder's not a floor general. He's a points off the bench type of guy. He's a spark plug type of guy, right? So with that being said, pick and roll with the second unit with him and Montrezl Harrell, because that's how Montrezl Harrell got all his points, were off pick and roll with Lou Williams. Now, your second unit might be able to run that pretty well. There's something to that. But they lost JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, and they replaced them with Marc Gasol, who I'm not even sure what he provides at this point in his career, because he's not a guy that can run. I'm not sure. I mean, he is 7 feet. Like, you can make the argument of, okay, that he could rim protect, but is he better than Nurkic? I think Nurkic would give him a problem. They saw Nurkic in the playoffs. Is he going to be able to guard Jokic? I think he's going to look like a fish out of water against Jokic, right? They just played both those teams. So I don't think they got better. I think they got slower with the acquisition of Marc Gasol, and I don't think Montrezl Harrell can even play with LeBron. So it's going to be real interesting. Those are just some of my thoughts, and and ultimately I think the Clippers. Um, the only thing, the only way that benefited the Lakers to me was that they took him from the Clippers, right? I look at Montrezl Harrell that like a player that he doesn't work for everybody. You know, he reminds me a lot of Draymond Green, and Draymond Green got paid by the Golden State Warriors. However, Draymond Green hits free agency. I'm not sure he's making that kind of money for just anybody. And then I'm not sure he gives you the same bang for your buck that he does for the Golden State Warriors. Like you have to have a certain role for him, right? At the end of the day, I think any team with LeBron and AD probably going to make the finals. All right, I'm still waiting to see how the rest of free agency shapes up, what the trade deadline is going to look like, what are the Clippers going to look like. But I think the Clippers ultimately got the better end of the stick there when they signed Serge Ibaka for the same money that they could have signed Montrezl Harrell. The key thing for the Clippers were they weren't big. Jokic took advantage of them, and Montrezl Harrell got smoked by Jokic, and it was a problem for the Clippers, as evident by the Denver Nuggets beating the Clippers in the playoffs. I think Serge Ibaka helps immensely with that because now you don't just have Zubac, which he can't guard Jokic either, but I think Serge Ibaka provides a lot of the same springy athleticism and height that the Lakers had with Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. I think those guys are really undervalued with their defensive presence in the post, and I think you'll notice it this year. So we'll see what happens there. Until next time, you guys please provide me your comments, questions, concerns. What do you guys think about what's going on with the NBA draft? It's coming. The NBA season's coming pretty quickly on December 22nd. It'll be here before you know it. COVID's kind of sped a lot of things up. Let me know what you guys think about the league and what's your team doing, and let's chat about it, all right? Hit the like. Please subscribe. There's all kinds of links attached to the video. Feel free to, leave a comment like I previously stated. All right, guys? Take it easy. Bye.